idea that science would ultimately save humanity from ourselves wasn't a new one, but it had serious momentum in the 70s. That's why we have so many rogue scientists, well-meaning scientists that do something rogue, and world savior wannabes who make a mess. Today's example falls into that last category.
I came as soon as I got your message, Professor Zarkov. You've deciphered the hieroglyphics?
Yes. After 6 years, Professor Price, the projectile is from a giant space vehicle. The message on it asks for help. A computerized device known as the Power. Once regulated the giant space vehicle's entire environment and population. Something went wrong, and the Power turned its energies against its artificial world.
An amazing find. Congratulations!
Hold your congratulations, Professor. There's more.
He's found the space vehicle this came from in his neutron telescope. Hey, if we can have electron microscopes, we can have neutron telescopes. So there.
The space vehicle. It's as large as a planet.
Precisely. And a whole civilization once existed within it. Now, there is no life.
We must report this to the Academy at once.
No, I have a better idea.
Whenever they say that, run for cover. It never turns out the way they thought it would. He has a teleportation machine. Why isn't he marketing that and actually helping humanity? And he's going to that artificial planet to find the Power. He's sure it will solve the world's energy crisis. Now, the message said the Power turned against them, and reading between the lines, it may have even destroyed them. But his attitude is, I can handle it. It won't happen to me. Professor Zarkov is apparently 14 years old.
Tampering with something that powerful is too dangerous.
But I am going, and you're going with me.
Professor Zarkov, wait!
That's called kidnapping, and it can get you anywhere from 10 years to life. It'll be a federal crime because he's definitely taking him beyond state lines.
Incredible.
But we must return to Earth before something terrible happens.
Not without the Power.
Even more amazing, he discovered that the ancient Aztecs built these structures and probably the whole planet. There's nothing under there. Those eyes are part of the plant. It's complicated. The Super Friends are getting a call.
And neither Professor Price nor Zarkov have been heard from in over a week.
Holy whereabouts? We'd better check it out.
And Professor Zarkov's observatory is the logical place to start.
What can you say? World's greatest detective. At the observatory, it's not hard to sort out where they went. Batman will call Wonder Woman.
We're all going to take a little trip.
It always fascinates me that they can get to these places in seconds in their super vehicles. I have the same question as I have for the scientists. Why aren't you sharing that stuff with the world? You have a major solution to our transportation issues right there, and you're just sitting on it. Or in it.
Great Hera! It's a gigantic man-made world.
Finding Professor Zarkov and Price isn't going to be easy.
Right. Let's go. But keep on guard. There's no telling what we'll find.
That plant with the eyes is the planet's official recorder. It makes a note of everyone who visits.
Looks like we've got company.
Look at the size of... Ah! Batman! Wonder Woman! Help!
Or I could be mistaken and it's a mouse lobster. A mobster.
We've got to act fast.
Too late. That sound you heard was the mouse going and suddenly Robin was nowhere to be found.
Robin! Catch!
Tie them onto the claw!
One thing about Robin, he can fall down better than anybody you know.
Now for a blast of the bat animal repellent spray.
It's a good thing he didn't grab the shark repellent by mistake. That probably wouldn't have worked. Price and Zarkov, which sounds like a hedge fund of some kind, are nearby. The critter was holding them captive.
We'd better get back to Earth before he decides to come back.
We can't leave yet. This electronic map I found will lead me to the power.
Power was buried 400 years ago as a final attempt to stop its evil destruction. It is unsafe. Do not unearth it.
Listen to its warning, Zarkov.
Never! I will not leave without the power.
That warning just told him it's evil and destructive. He's so convinced he can handle it, he creates a cave-in to keep the Super Friends from stopping him. He didn't realize that the dynamic duo had their portable bat steam shovels in their utility belts.
Success! The power is mine! What? Stop!
Take him inside. For uncovering the power, he must pay.
Should've listened to the warning, dude. He assumed everybody was gone. They aren't, but he's about to be. Uncovering the power is the worst possible offense in their society.
The sentence will now be carried out.
No! Stop!
You should have listened to the warnings. The power is not to be tampered with. It is the law.
Holy bubble bass! Those mutants have Professor Zarkov!
Not for long, Robin. I've got a plan.
Yeah, but considering what he's done and how badly he's broken their law, should we really interfere or should we do a little prime directive here?
Stop them! Don't let them get away!
I think it's time you all got to know one another a little better. Now that's what I call togetherness.
Batman's grand plan was swing in there and start doing stuff. I wonder how many years of detective school are needed to come up with one like that. They're not out to hurt anyone, just slow them down long enough for them to get to their vehicles and split.
I now realize that I was overcome by my quest to help mankind.
By not listening to advice and warnings, you could have harmed mankind more than helped it.
Maybe someday man will acquire the power when he's ready to handle it.
If those guys are any indication, that'll never happen because whatever they built is unmanageable. That's why they buried it. Look, Super and other friends, there are no shortcuts. There are no quick answers. There's no magic ding-fod that's going to solve some of our major problems. Last week, Professor Zahn thought making women stronger would solve the equality issue. Suppose her formula worked and she went around beating up some of these self-appointed alpha males. Did she really think that would change their attitude? Zarkov decided this power thing could solve the energy crisis. So we concentrate all the world's energy in one machine. And if it has a problem, everything stops. Not a solution, just a new problem in the making. Bringing about change in any major area like that requires three things: time, you, and me.
Those look pretty rusty.
Oh, hi, Aquaman. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't have left them out.
Gonna use them now?
Going skating with some of my buddies.
Rusty skates, wobbly skateboards, and bikes that need fixing often end up hurting somebody.
Maybe I'd better clean and oil these.
Keeping toys in good repair is the best way to have fun instead of an accident.
And those strap-on skates date this show quite accurately. Later, we'll even see a phone booth. Somewhere outside of town, some kids are showing off on their motorcycles.
See at the top?
the desert. Okay, let's go.
Bat, come on down. We're taking off. Hey, wait a minute. I'm gonna climb that hill.
Jerry, forget it. You're not good enough. You'll never get halfway up.
Just watch me.
That hill isn't that steep. I've ridden up worse on a little Honda 90. But Jerry won't make it. I think it's because his bike is underpowered and the other kids are laughing at him. Because of course they are. The fat kid is always fair game. Of course, it's hard not to laugh when he makes it that easy, but he's determined to prove that he can ride just as good as anybody else. My nephews and I used to have this argument all the time. You know what I discovered? If you go somewhere on your bike and you come back alive, you're a good rider. Some people develop special skills on one. Good for them. It's not a requirement, so let them do them and you do you. Jerry hasn't figured that out yet.
They won't laugh at me for long. I'll show them.
He said it. He just condemned whatever he has in mind to failure with that statement. I'm convinced it's a genuine jinx.
Maybe I'm not so good at hill climbing, but there's something I can do better. Like what? Like jumping Rattlesnake Ravine.
Come on, Jerry. No one's jumped there before.
Yeah, use your head. It's too dangerous.
I tell you, I can do it.
I found some makeshift ramps and jumped my bike over a few things. I probably never got more than about 8 feet in the air, and you know something? It scared the bejabbers out of me, and I landed hard enough to bottom out all 4 shocks, to say nothing of my spine. That wasn't even a fraction of what Jerry's going to try to do. I advise him not to do it. That sound is why I advise him not to do it. There's something wrong with his engine. No way can he get up enough speed to do this. The Wonder Twins are ice skating nearby when the call comes in. When I was in my first college, I took an ice skating class and fell in love. Before I knew it, I was taking lessons 4 days a week and practicing the other 3. I learned how to do all those jumps, the axel, lutz, salchow, all the ones with the funny names that don't tell you anything about what they are. I kept that up for many years until I moved to a place that didn't have a rink. The way my balance is now, I wouldn't even think about getting on skates without training wheels.
He's not gonna make it.
It's time for a little Wonder Bounce power. Form of gelatin dessert.
Because we couldn't afford the license to say Jell-O.
Shape of a giant pelican. That's what I call a super scooper super scoop.
Too bad for Jerry, Jana forgot what kind of bird she was and delivered him to some expectant parents. He learned his lesson, and the other kids realized that their teasing was hurtful, so they won't do it anymore. Considering it took something like this for them to notice, maybe Jerry should look for some different friends. Okay, that was genuinely funny. I think that helmet is way too big.
Thanks a lot, Wonder Woman.
Now you can help me.
How?
Put your thinking cap on about today's decoder.
Hey, what's the first clue?
The first part of the clue's what a chicken does with an egg. The second part of the clue's a word a soldier uses when talking to an officer.
Hey, come back!
In a few minutes, clues to the second decoder word.
Okay, I should be able to get this one. What a hen does with an egg. Hatch. What a soldier calls an officer. We don't use words like that on this channel, so now I don't know what to do.
Deep in space, in a distant galaxy, lies a strange, ominous planet. For a frightening business agreement is being made.
I offer for sale valuable resources.
That's nice. Everybody needs resources. What kind?
Oil for your planet, Industrix. Water for Aquanautus. Plant life for the planet Foliana. And ice and valuable minerals for both of your planets.
He's discovered this stuff on a distant planet called Earth. The resources are all theirs for a price.
My strata ray will split this planet into 5 sections. Each section that contains the priceless resource you buy.
Good plan. All the planet's oil is concentrated in one area, all the water is concentrated in another, all the plants are in one place, and so on. Everybody knows that.
Will be transported through space to your planet.
Are there any life forms on this planet?
There is some form of lower intelligence. You can use them as slaves or eliminate them altogether. I believe they are called Earthlings.
He really thinks we could survive the planet splitting into 5 pieces. But as we saw, he doesn't care. This is about money, duh.
Later, miles above the Earth, in a sophisticated space station.
Commander, we picked up an unidentified object heading toward the space station.
I don't know what it is, but keep a close watch on it.
Lion X switches on some kind of radar shield and the blip disappears. They have no idea what's coming because looking out the window isn't an option. It's in the regulations.
We're under attack. Sound the alarm!
They are immobilized.
His plan is to set up his ray on the space station and use it from there. While he's doing that, the Super Friends are getting an alarm beacon from the station. Zan and Jaina are on watch today.
Wonder Twins to Super Friends.
This is Superman. Go ahead, Zan.
Superman, we just got an emergency alarm from the space station.
I'll check it out. You contact the rest of the Super Friends.
It's handy that he was already in space doing something.
Lionax, a flying Earthling is approaching.
Yes, he is called Superman. I have studied him and have prepared a defense. Activate the kryptonite force field.
Of course he has kryptonite. He's a space merchant. He's the guy who sells it to all the other villains. He turns on his strata ray and it goes to work on Earth.
We still don't know who's taken over the space station, or why.
The seismograph is picking up tiny earth tremors all over the world.
The space station must have something to do with that.
You're right, Superman. Some kind of ray is being beamed down from the space station.
Holy earthquakes, what are they up to? Only one way to find out. Come up with some means of getting aboard the space station.
And that calls for a super plan.
A plan that probably won't include me.
The force field, Superman. He's using a lead shield to protect himself. Increase the force field to full strength.
I was going to add a effect, but I like the El Kabong sound effect better. Being a money man, Lion X isn't too familiar with the wider world, which is to say, he's never heard of a diversion.
So far, so good.
Now to find their ray device.
Holy circuses! Lion men! Right, Robin. Space beings from another planet.
And they've taken over the space station.
Holy summary, Batman! Just in case you had to run to the bathroom while that was happening, now you're up to date.
In a few more hours, Earth will be ripped apart and ready to be delivered to our customers.
At a handsome profit, Lionax.
Suffering subdivisions. Did you hear what he said?
Yes, Robin. They're shooting a harmless light beam through that huge gem lens, and the lens is creating the Earth-splitting ray.
They did have to run to the bathroom while that was happening, so now they're also up to date. And they can stop this thing by removing the lens.
Intruders! Surrender!
We've been discovered.
My magic bracelets will reflect their immobilizer rays.
She knows they're immobilizer rays because she has an advanced degree in alien weaponry.
Stop them! More lion men. Quick, Robin. Get a sample of that lens while we hold them off.
Right, Batman.
Never mind a sample, take the whole thing. It's not like it's hard to get to.
There, got a piece.
It's sitting on a rack, nothing holding it in place. I know I said earlier that there are no quick fixes, but this is an exception. Pick it up and take it home. Problem solved.
Uh-oh, I'm cornered.
Robin!
My bat pulley should do the trick.
Quick, to the invisible jet.
Or they can do that. As we know, the writer for television's motto is Runtime über alles.
Our only chance is to analyze this piece of lens and find a way to reverse the ray it's creating.
Later, the leading geology experts from around the world analyze the strange gem.
It'd probably be easier if you had the whole thing.
Too late. Had a chance. Muffed it.
The gem is made up of rare elements found only in remote parts of the world.
Is there any way of counteracting its ray?
If we could get enough of the elements needed, we could make a negative lens.
And when installed on the strata ray, it would reverse the ray's effect and pull the Earth back together.
How much time do we have?
2 hours.
Superman, Aquaman, and Batman and Robin will go find the elements. The others need a way to sneak onto the space station.
There is something those lion men wouldn't suspect. A giant space amoeba.
Just what I was going to say, sis. Space amoebas are very common in their part of the universe.
And a giant amoeba would be large enough to conceal Zan and myself. And Glee.
I got nothing.
The world is starting to tear apart.
See, the world isn't a vampire, it's an orange.
Form of a giant space amoeba.
Jupiter's, Jaina. You look like a reject from a science fiction movie.
Funny, Zan, real funny.
I was thinking she looks like someone left the water running in zero gravity. Now she looks like something out of science fiction, like a gelatinous space pill bug. There is one problem, the force field, which raises the question, how'd they get past it when they docked with the station before?
Got your squealer locked up?
Yeah. Okay, I think I know the first decoder word.
All right, then here's the clue for the second decoder word. It's another word for those.
Another word for rafters?
Uh-huh.
Another word for rafters.
And while you and our audience are thinking about it, how about a jet tour over your farm?
Sure.
Come on.
I've heard it called a bolster, but how that dovetails with hatch and something I can't say is beyond me.
What's happening?
We're in a force field. Hang on.
Sadly, what we saw squirting out the back end was Wonder Woman, Zan, and Gleek. Jaina was never able to change back. She spent the rest of her life eating lion men.
Quickly, follow me. I'll take care of these two with my magic lasso. Okay, Gleek, it's all yours.
After him!
While the twins go to see about the machine, Wonder Woman will see about Lion X.
Excellent. The Earth should be ready for delivery in just a few hours.
Now's my chance.
Guards! Guards!
Save it, Lion X. These walls are soundproof.
It's a good thing he talks a lot.
Whatever your plans are, Wonder Woman, you will fail.
Don't be too sure. With a little help from the Justice League voice duplicator...
And your voice, Lion X. I'm going to stop your machine.
It gives her a good voice print to use.
Attention! This is Lion X. Turn off the strata ray immediately. I repeat, turn off the strata ray.
Quickly, cut the power generators. Shut it down.
Operation Stall is a success. They can't do it my way and start breaking stuff because they need that ray when they make their reverser lens.
Now to contact the other Super Friends. Jupiters! Glee turned on the cameras!
I can't find the right button.
Don't bother, just have him run across it the other way. Wonder Woman doesn't realize what happened.
Quickly, immobilize her!
The twins stood there and watched that instead of jumping in because... Under some kind of interrogation beam, Wonder Woman reveals the plan for the anti-lens. Lion X dispatches some of his men to stop them.
Halt! Lion X's men streak toward the planet to stop the Super Friends.
That's one reason why they need our resources. They never figured out carpooling.
I found some of the rare elements.
We'll take those minerals, Aquaman.
Not if I can help it.
Hurry! Immobilize him!
A little aquatic acrobatics and I'll beat these lion men at their own game.
That was certainly effective, wasn't it?
There's no escape now, Aquaman.
Right, Lion Man. No escape for you. By the time their immobilizer ray wears off, I'll be long gone.
Much better. It's a good thing these lion men are only in it for the money and aren't trying to conquer anything. I don't see that going well at all. Batman and Robin are having a similar encounter.
Quick, Robin, the jet-powered bat skis. Now to put a freeze on their game. Look out!
Good job! The Roadrunner couldn't have done better. While Superman delivers the elements for the lens, the others will see about that kryptonite force field. Because they can't do something like this without Superman, the network would have a cow.
Using the Lion Men space vehicles, Aquaman, Batman, and Robin take off to the captured satellite.
Presumably, they have some kind of transponder that gets them through the force field. If they don't, I foresee a lot of work for the body and fender shop back on their planet.
Meanwhile, at the orbiting space station, Wonder Woman is being placed in a state of suspended animation.
You must stop your plans, Lion X. The Earth will be destroyed.
Silence, Wonder Woman.
There's nothing you can do. Soon, the petrifying process will be irreversible, and you will have the honor of being a display in our planet's museum.
Oh, I see. It has pieces stolen from other worlds. I'm sure glad we don't do that here.
We made it.
Let's get out of this sardine can. Jupiters!
They only have seconds to get her out of that thing. How many seconds? As many as it takes. It's a very flexible time period.
Form of a frozen ice saw.
Shape of a grizzly bear. I'll have you out of there in a snap, Wonder Woman.
Too late, she realized that grizzly bears don't have opposable thumbs, and she kept dropping her brother.
And on that note,
Wonder Twin powers, deactivate.
Zan came out of it going...
In minutes, the separation of the Earth will be irreversible.
Not if we can help it, Lion X.
Super Friends!
Quickly, we've got to shut off the kryptonite force field.
While Batman and Robin hold off the Lion Man, Aquaman goes for the control panel.
I've got to find the kryptonite force field shutoff.
It's probably a green button, duh.
You're too late, Aquaman.
It's you who are too late, Lion X.
I found it!
Oh, never mind. Superman is here with the new lens. How hard is it to remove the old one?
Now to place the anti-lens on the strata ray and pull Earth back together.
Boy, that was difficult. Robin never could have done it way back before it really started causing problems. The anti-ray puts the orange slices back together. And then there's Lion X.
But I cannot return without my merchandise. I will lose my customers.
He says that like it's a bad thing. Are there intergalactic laws about selling stolen merchandise?
The merchandise was never yours to take, Lion X.
This will be a lesson to others in the galaxy.
Don't mess with Earth.
Anyone who deals in illegal ventures will come out a loser.
Oh, right, that too.
Thanks for the tour of the farm.
Thanks for the ride in the jet.
Now back to that decoder we were working on.
Let's see. I'm pretty sure the first word.
The clues for that were what a chicken does with an egg.
And what a soldier says to an officer, that's sir. So the first word's laser.
Right.
The second word's another name for a raptor, beam. So the code words are laser beam. How'd I do?
Perfect.
I knew that.
Robin, you're performing today's Super Friends magic trick.
I call it the mysterious egg trick. We'll need a purse. Would someone... Good.
Robin tells me he will empty the purse, and then after showing that the purse is empty, he will mysteriously find an egg in that purse.
The purse is emptied, right?
Right.
Empty.
Empty, is it?
An egg.
We'll explain the trick in just a few minutes.
He's got a hen up his sleeve. Wait, Robin doesn't have sleeves. Then I don't know. Our team up today features the return of Black Vulcan.
Gotham City, where at this moment a truck carrying exotic electronic equipment is about to cause a disaster of unimaginable proportion.
Suddenly, thousands of rats are pouring out of the sewers and terrorizing the city. It's up to the Super Friends to find out what's got them in such a tizzy.
Let's get moving. Black Vulcan!
While Black Vulcan and the dynamic duo streak toward Gotham City, the rats continue their rampage.
Batman, look! Hundreds of rats are swarming into that movie theater.
They're showing a double feature, Ben and Willard.
The rats are attacking the people in the balcony.
Quick, Robin, we'll swing our bat cables up to the balcony and let the people down.
The people can't escape down the stairs because the architect forgot to include some.
Holy lifelines! Those rats are chewing at my bat cable!
That happens when you make your bat cable out of string cheese. Try steel, it doesn't taste as good.
Now, Robin will explain the mysterious egg trick.
This trick really requires the assistance of a colleague.
Before Robin even announced the trick, he gave me an egg.
Then I let our friend and then Batman check the purse to see that it was empty. But Batman was slipping that egg into the purse. And when I opened it, voila!
The mysterious egg.
Holy calamity, Batman. We'd better get back to the show.
Then voila!
Not bad. Making simple eye contact with the subject is enough misdirection to make it work.
I can't hold on much longer!
I'll pin those rats up with a lightning fence.
We used to have a dog that couldn't stand fences. No matter how high or what material it was, she'd find a way to get over it. She'd climb over an electric fence. I wonder what she'd do with that. They need to find out what's causing this. Lucky the world's greatest detective is on the case.
According to the Bat computer readout, a high-pitched electronic sound wave is disturbing the rats.
Holy headlines, Batman! That newspaper mentions a lost electronic device.
And it was lost somewhere close to this area.
And since it's making rats go berserk, it must be in the sewers. Using the Batcopter's radar, they find it easily. And now somebody gets to go down there and turn it off. I nominate Robin.
There it is.
I guess you're right. This is an electrical device, so an adult should deal with it.
First, a light burst to scare away the rats. Now a heavy bolt to short out that device.
The rats all head back to the sewers. These humans taste like BO anyway.
Hey, let's lie in the sun for a while, okay? Good idea. I want to get a good tan started.
If you don't watch out, lying in the sun can give you a bad burn instead of a good tan.
How do we get the tan without the burn?
When you're just starting a tan, limit the time you spend in the sun. And to keep from burning, use a suntan lotion with a sunscreen.
Hey, race home for some suntan lotion.
I never understood getting a tan. That may be because I could never get one. If I spent more than about 5 minutes in the sun without a shirt, I knew what to expect. Burn, peel, turn white. My arms have what they call a farmer's tan from years of driving with my arm on the window ledge like this, or riding in the passenger seat with my arm on the window ledge like this. The rest of me, forget it. Never happened. I had quit trying by the time I was 20, and then in my 50s, I had to have a skin cancer removed from my face. Sunscreen is your friend. The message of the main story is so subtle they might as well have screamed it. I did like the Wonder Twins story because I was that kid trying desperately to prove he could succeed at something. I don't get this last one. Toward the end, the rats were miles away from this thing, so how was it still affecting them? But I think this was made just for me. Look at that. He took my advice and broke it. Vindication feels so nice. Jane was like, yeah, how? Driving with my arm on the window ledge like my arm, I can say arm, good grief. My arm had to have a